I'd like to start off by congratulating everyone once again on another blessed day in the month of Ramadan, where in this month we are all the guests of Allah. As we know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to do good deeds so we can please Him and get closer to Him in this month. The best deed to do in this month, as I mentioned, was to read Quran. For every verse that you read in this month, it is equal to one whole Quran that you read in any other month. Inshallah, here on Velayat Kids, we will get to know the Quran, listen to stories and hadith, and then ask you questions about the Quran. We will also share with you an Arabic word from the Quran today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we know, has created everything, even you and me throughout the Holy Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions many things He has created. One of those creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the sun. There is also a surah in the Quran with the name of the sun, which is Surah Shams. Shams means sun. In Surah Shams, Surah 91, verse 1, by the sun and its brightness. So, like I mentioned, sun in Arabic is Shams. So, Brother Ali, do you know Surah Shams? Like to recite it for us, if you.
Yes.
So, could you recite it for us?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء وما بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من تزكى وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ انبعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله إذا اتقى الله وسقياها وكذبوه فقعوها فدمدم عليهم ربه بذنبه فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Thank you, Brother Ali, for reading Surah Shams. I'm now going to say some facts about the sun. The sun is the star at the center of the solar system. It is nearly perfect sphere of hot plasma. It is the most important source of energy for life on Earth. This is, as we know, is one of the examples of the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As we know, the sun is such an important thing. It gives us light. Without the sun, we wouldn't be able to see anything night and day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it so perfectly that the sun moves at exactly the same time. It moves so that it becomes night in one area and day in another area. So that's pretty incredible. Without the sun, what would we do, Brother Ali? What would we do without the sun? How bad would it be without the sun?
We wouldn't be able to survive without the sun.
Yes, obviously it would be dark all the time, like I mentioned, and, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes everything so perfectly, it all fits in perfectly with everything. The sun accounts for 99.86% of the mass in the solar system. Over 1 million Earths could fit in the sun. Light from the sun reaches Earth in around 8 minutes. So that's about, those are some facts about the sun, the time it takes. Light from the sun reaches Earth in around 8 minutes. So in the morning, after Fajr time,
like the speed of light.
Yeah, the speed of light severely fast becomes Earth. Another fact is the sun generates huge amounts of energy by combining hydrogen nuclei into helium. This process is called nuclear fusion. So, Brother Ali, could you read us, do you have a story to read us about Prophet Salih alayhi salam? Could you read us a story?
Yes. This was in Surah Shams. The people of Thamud lived in a valley called Al-Hijr in the north of Arabia. It was a good land, so everything grew very easily. They were very fortunate and they had very good land. Cattle and sheep grazed the land. Everyone had plenty of everything. When the people of Thamud, they had a lot of everything, so they forgot that Allah provided them with everything. So Prophet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Prophet Salih, and Saleh told the people to remember Allah, but a lot of people just laughed at him. They would not listen, but he didn't give up. He still tried to persuade them to worship Allah and stop worshiping idol. And soon the people began to listen. They realized Saleh was right, but the leaders of Thamud did not. They thought he was lying, so they wanted him to prove it. They wanted a sign. They told Prophet Saleh to bring a special camel, and he prayed to Allah, and he got the special camel. The camel gave lots of milk, and the camel gave a lot of milk, so all the poor people had enough to drink, and they were very happy. The leaders of Thamud became angry again to see Saleh and his followers so happy. They decided they had to kill the camel. Saleh told them that they would be punished severely if they killed the camel. So Prophet Saleh took away all the good people, and a terrible earthquake came and destroyed the valley. And all the people who were not his believers, if they listened to Saleh, they would have been saved.
So Brother Ali mentioned the story about Prophet Saleh alayhi salam, and the evil people. Prophet Saleh told them not to kill the camel after it was a miracle, and the evil people of Thamud, they actually killed the camel. And the camel was providing them with milk and everything, so they just were angry that, it was actually true. So one of the things that happened was one person killed the camel. The person who killed the camel was just one person. He planned to kill the camel. And even the people who didn't know about it, the non-believers, they were still punished because they knew about it and they didn't do anything. So that's one of the things that...
It doesn't say, it says that when the worst of them came to kill the camel, it said he punished all of them, not just him.
Yeah, it wasn't just the person who killed the camel, it was everyone was punished, except for the believers that were taken out. But everyone was punished because they all knew that he had killed the camel, he was planning on killing the camel, and they didn't say or do anything about it. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished all of them. I'm now going to read a hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salam. Imam Ali alayhi salam said, "I believe in Allah like I believe in the sun, not because I see it, but because of it I see everything." Brother Ali, what do you think about this saying?
Since the sun gives off light, you don't look at the sun because then it hurts your eyes. But if the sun, it shows you everything. You don't have to see it just to know that it's there. It gives you light to see, so you can see everything.
So, Brother Ali, without the sun,
you'd be dead.
No, but what would you do if it was dark? What would you do if all the time it was always dark and, the sun never came out? What would you do?
It'd be people would be dying off a lot, there'd be no sun, you wouldn't be able to see, and besides, you wouldn't be able to survive anyway without the sun. But
of course, it would always be severely cold. You probably would die anyway because the sun also brings warmth.
But you wouldn't be able to survive without the sun.
And for example, the sun comes out. When it becomes dark, it's people's thing to, it's time to go to sleep. You go to sleep and then you wake up for when it gets dark. So if it was always dark, then you wouldn't know when to, sleep and get up. Your schedule would be destroyed. That's just one of many things. Of course, you'd also die. That you couldn't survive without the sun. So I'm going to say another fact about the sun. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon is between the sun and the earth. So that's a solar eclipse. Brother Ali, can you give us an example of a time you saw an eclipse or something? Could you give us an example?
I believe 1 or 2 years ago there was a solar eclipse in 2018, 17. I think the end of 2017 there was a solar eclipse, and people were all there was a spot where it'd be fully dark, and everyone was buying out that. People were all renting hotels there, and a lot of people. And then on this news, and like, what was it, Fox? They're like, oh yeah, why does everyone want to see the solar eclipse?
Yeah, so the solar eclipse is a huge thing. I know another example of eclipse type of thing. It's called a super red blood moon. It happened, I think, like 1 year ago, close to a year ago.
Red blood moon?
Yeah, we came out. It was like I think 12 o'clock or something. It was late at night, and you looked up, and the moon was like kind of red, and it was pretty cool. It was only there for like how long, Brother Ellie? I'm not sure, like 30 minutes maybe or something like that. But obviously, you take a picture of it, but it doesn't really, you can't really see the exact thing. So that was definitely a great thing. Another thing about the sun is the age of the sun is 4.603 billion years. So the sun is over 4 billion years old. Obviously, since the beginning of the time, the sun was always there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the earth, the sun was obviously always there. Because like we mentioned, without the sun, people wouldn't be able to live. Obviously, the sun brings, it brings heat to the earth, and, without the sun, it would really be hard to do anything. Brother Eli, so we talked about shams. Can you tell us what shams means? Just review it again. What's the definition of the word shams, the Arabic word? Yes, like we were talking about, once again, the Arabic word we're learning today is shams. Shams means sun. Surah Shams, like we mentioned before. I'm going to read another hadith from Imam Ali alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed knowledge on Imam Ali alayhi salam, just like Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. One day, someone came to Imam Ali alayhi salam. He asked Imam Ali alayhi salam, "You say you know everything in the world. Then tell me which animals lay eggs and which animals give birth to their young ones." Imam Ali alayhi salam looked at him, smiled, and said, "The animals who have their ears outside their body give birth to their young ones, and the animals who have their ears inside their body lay eggs." So, Brother Ali, can you give us some example of, what are some examples of some animals that have inside and outside? Yeah, snakes definitely lay eggs. What about like a giraffe? They obviously have outside, so they give birth.
You have ears right here.
Kangaroos give birth, probably. No, not probably. They obviously do. Horses, of course. I think like a fish. They definitely lay eggs.
No, lizards.
Lizards, yeah, lizards probably lay eggs. Fish definitely have. They have like gills, so they obviously lay eggs. So, yeah. So, those are the examples. What about like flies? Flies?
Lay eggs.
Yeah, flies definitely lay eggs. Birds? Birds lay eggs for sure, yeah. That's pretty clear. I'm now going to ask our first question. The question is, what animal did the people of Thamud ask Prophet Salih alayhi salam to send them to prove he was a prophet? A blue bird, B, a special camel, or C, a white horse? If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So we mentioned the story about Prophet Salih alayhi salam. So the question is, what was the animal that they told Prophet Salih alayhi salam to prove that he was a prophet? So if you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. Also, if you call in, you can get one of these Islamic books. Brother Ali, can you tell us some quick facts about these Islamic books?
It says about the Masumeen. It says right here, it says family relations, its qualities, lessons from life.
Yeah, so this particular book talks about Imam Hassan alayhi salam. There are others, so.
My favorite part is that it's laminated, very shiny.
Yeah, and you can definitely learn a lot from this book, so it's a very good book. You don't have to call in and answer the question. You can call in and read a surah, or if you want to read a surah, or, Surah Fatiha or something, you can. or if you'd like to share your experiences fasting, if you did fast. I'll repeat the question. What animal did the people of Thamud ask Prophet ﷺ to send them to prove he was a prophet? A blue bird, B, a special camel, or C, a white horse? If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766.
Brother Syed, do you
Yes?
know any specific verses, what they mean? Like, can you translate them?
I know one of them was, at the end where it says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like I mentioned, it says he punished them. It didn't say he punished, it said the most wicked amongst them or something came out and killed the camel and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala punished them. It doesn't say he punished the person who did it. Like I mentioned, if it is your Islamic duty to, if somebody is doing something wrong, to tell them about it, Brother Eli.
What is that called?
Is it Nahi anil Munkar?
I think so. Okay, so what's the opposite of that?
Not sure. Amr, yeah, and
Okay,
Nahi
so-
anil Munkar. So,
Can you give me some examples of besides the story, like how you can do it? Because obviously that's already happened. How you can not? It says you punished him. How do you get out like a group?
well, I mean, if you're doing something as a group, like for example, this is a severe example, but if you steal something, I mean, obviously, we have a caller.
Assalamu alaikum.
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa ajma'in. Well, you got this book. You hung up too soon, but you got this book. We'll get your information and send you this book. Yes, that is correct. The answer is B, a special camel. The camel of Prophet ﷺ that was sent down by the people asked Prophet ﷺ to prove that he was a prophet was B, a special camel. Brother Eli, would you like to ask our next question?
Yes. What is the Arabic word for sun? And like I mentioned, it's also surah. A, Shams, B, Qamar, or C, Najm?
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So like we were mentioning, Brother Eli, like I mentioned, it is kind of a severe example, but if somebody steals something, like in a group or,
If you go and someone steals something and you don't tell them that you shouldn't have stolen that.
Yeah, and you just go along with it. You didn't do it technically, but even knowing about it, you still get the sin. You have to make sure. Or if somebody, if somebody's reading their namaz incorrectly, and they have to read their namaz, you have to help them out and say, you're doing this wrong. You have to show them how to do it regularly. Just tell them a mistake.
You have to say it, obviously, the right way you can't.
Yeah, don't be like, made a mistake, you fool. Like you have to say, take them to the side, maybe say you made some mistake. Because it's your duty to say it, because like I mentioned, we go over the story of Prophet ﷺ again. The people, one person killed the camel, but they were all punished for it. They were all punished because they knew he was planning on killing the camel, and they didn't say anything about it. There's even some examples like the person, if somebody robs a bank, right? The person who's the getaway car, the driver, he's driving away. Technically, he didn't rob the bank. He's just driving them, but he's still part of the crime. So,
Yeah, if obviously he.
So he obviously gets sin, but obviously by the law, he's going to get arrested as well. So
obviously doing something wrong. He's getting them away. Obviously, I mean they couldn't be able to get away without him.
assisting in it. So that's, and even about knowing, like we said, that's also. So, Brother Eli, would you like to repeat the question?
Yes. What is the Arabic word for sun? A, Shams, B, Qamar, or C, Najm?
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766.
Also, can you give us another example? There's, something more casual besides robbing a bank.
Well, like I mentioned, the namaz one, if someone's reading their namaz incorrectly.
Like if someone's cheating on a test.
Yeah, if somebody in your school or something is, and you see them cheating on a test, you gotta tell them not to do that.
And then you, instead of you saying, oh yeah, you shouldn't be cheating, you're like, got the calculator.
Yeah, like you're not, obviously don't cheat. Things that you're not supposed to do. If you're even involved in it, you're knowing it, something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like. For example, if someone's eating haram unknowingly, for example, if, there's some...
listening to music unknowingly, because music is haram.
Well, unknowingly, how do you do it unknowingly?
I mean...
Yeah, if they don't know it's haram, then you gotta,
That's what I meant.
Or if somebody, like I mentioned, they don't know something's haram. Like there are certain, like chips and stuff and some pizza that is like, has bad, is haram because of the cheese and stuff. So it's your duty, you have to tell them. We have caller?
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Shams is the answer?
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa sallam. Thanks for calling. I think the person already got.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Masood and I'm calling from California.
And would you like to answer our question?
I was trying to answer your question, but I can't hear Ali's voice.
Brother Ali, could you speak up?
Where was the last surah of the Holy Quran revealed? A. Makkah, B. Medina, or C. Najaf?
B?
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa sallam. Brother Masood, you just won this book. We'll ship it to you. This
All right, thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Have a nice day.
See you Friday.
Yes, at the mosque. Yes, that is correct. The answer is A. No, the answer is B. Medina. Yes, mosque.
The next question is, which prophet is mentioned most in the Quran? A. Prophet Musa, B. Prophet Isa, or C. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam?
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. So, Brother Masood and the previous caller, we'll be sending you these Islamic books. They're very good. They have a lot of information in it. So we'll get your information and we will send you these books. This particular one's about Imam Hussein alayhi Islam. Like we mentioned, all of these names right here, the 14 Masumin, it has information about them. So if you'd like to call and get one of these books and answer the question, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. I'm now going to read another saying from Imam Ali alayhi Salam. It is, the word of Allah is the medicine of the heart. Brother Ali, what do you think about this saying?
Can you repeat the saying?
The saying is, the word of Allah is like the medicine of the heart.
Oh, it's like medicine. When you have, like, maybe you're sick and you don't feel good, and you take the medicine, then you feel much better. Or, like, you wait and then you feel better. That's how it is once you, like, hear the word of Allah. It's like you feel better.
Yeah, and I think it also means, reading the Quran brings you, peace. Whenever you feel bad, you should always read the Quran. Try to read the Quran every day, because there's the cleaning of the outside if you have like a shower or something, and then there's the cleaning of the inside by, cleaning your soul by reading the Quran, reading your namaz, doing everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to do. That's the cleaning of the inside or your soul. You try to keep your soul clean as well. So reading Quran every day is definitely one thing you should be doing. Brother Ali, have you been reading Quran every day in the month of Ramadan?
I have to try to read every day, but I haven't been reading like every single day.
Well, most days.
Good. Yeah, because one verse equals one Quran.
Yeah, so we were going over it last show. One verse equals one Quran. There's over 6,000 verses. So that's 6,000 Qurans. And I mean...
And almost impossible to read 6,000 Qurans in your life. So
I mean, how can you read, like, obviously for me, 6,000 is impossible, but I did see this thing that, actually, let's be real, 6,000, just like, there's another thing that's also severely hard. It is, if you miss a fast intentionally, there's one of, intentionally with not, and you don't have a valid reason, there's 3 things. One of the things you have to do is fast like 60 days or something for every fast you missed. That is another thing that is impossible. So, I mean,
if you miss one fast, you can fast for 60 days.
Yeah, that's one of the things. The other thing is freeing a slave, which is, there's no slaves, so you can't do that either. And the other thing, the easy one, is feeding 60 people. That's actually the only option.
Or you can free a servant.
Well, it does say slave, but, I mean, not sure.
Or you can find some slaves in the world and then free them.
Well, there's no slaves, so there's really no slaves anymore, so that's not really possible. Brother Ellie, could you repeat the question?
Yes. Which prophet is mentioned most in the Quran? A. Prophet Musa, B. Prophet Isa, or C. Prophet Muhammad?
If you'd like to call, please dial the number on the screen, which is 925-523-3766. Brother Ellie, would you like to answer this question?
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Syed Hassan calling from Pakistan. I just want to let you guys know that we can't hear you on the website. So the sound is not coming, and that's why I don't know what is your topic and what are you discussing. And maybe that's why, maybe you're not getting any calls. So what is your topic today?
We were talking about Surah Shams.
Okay, so are you taking any questions or what?
Yes, Brother Ellie. Would you like to?
The question is, which prophet is mentioned most in the Quran? A. Prophet Musa, B. Prophet Isa, or C. Prophet Muhammad?
Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
That is incorrect. Would you like to try again?
Wow.
What
are my other choices?
A. Prophet Musa alayhi salam and B. Prophet Isa alayhi salam.
Okay, let me try the A. Prophet Musa alayhi salatu.
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa sallam.
So, am I going to get anything, or because I was not able to reply at the first place, so?
Well, you still get this Islamic textbook. It's very good. So we'll send you this Islamic textbook.
Okay, can I take another question, please?
Sure, Brother Ellie.
Very hard. I could not even answer it.
Yes.
The next question is, which prophet could understand the language of the animals? A. Prophet Yusuf, B. Prophet Isa, or C. Prophet Suleiman?
Let me think about it, before I answer the question.
You see, it's a harder question.
I believe it is a Prophet Suleiman alayhi salatu.
That is correct. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa sallam.
Okay, so thank God that at least I was able to answer the second one correctly.
Yeah, so we're still going to send you this Islamic workbook. It's very good. So.
Okay, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for calling.
Oh,
Khudafis.
okay, you're welcome. Well, I just wanna let you know that all around the world people are watching, and alhamdulillah they are getting the benefits. You guys are doing very good, so keep it up. May Allah bless upon you and give you more and more tawfiqat, inshallah. Ameen, ya Rabbal Alamin.
Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Khudafis, have a nice day. So yes, that is correct. The prophet that was mentioned most is A. Prophet Musa, and the prophet that could understand the language of the animals is C. Prophet Suleiman alayhi salam. That is all the time we have left for today. Thank you for everyone who called and participated in our program. after the show, we'll get your information and we'll send you these Islamic textbooks. Obviously, not this exact one, unless we have 3 Imam Hassan alayhi salams. But we're now going to do Allahumma kulli waliyaka for inshallah the safety protection of our 12th Imam, and inshallah our 12th Imam comes soon. Allahumma kulli waliyaka al-Hujjat ibn al-Hasan salawatuka alayhi wa ala abai fi hadhihi sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a waliyan wa hafiza wa qa'idan wa nasira wa dalilan wa aina hatta tuskinahu ardaka tawa wa tumatti'ahu fiha tawila rahmatika ya arhaman rahimin. Once again, thanks for everyone who called and participated in our program. Please join us next time on another exciting episode of Velayat Kids. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Khuda hafiz.